Have you ever wondered how a social media giant, one with literally billions of users, actually manages to stay relevant and battle all that fierce competition, especially when it comes to, like, younger audiences?
It's a huge question.
That's really the core thing we're tackling today. Our deep dive is focused squarely on Facebook's latest, very bold strategy. They're trying to compete directly with those short-form video platforms that have just exploded everywhere.
Yeah, they're unavoidable now.
Exactly. And for today's insights, we're leaning on a really fantastic article from The Street, published just a few days back, June 19th, 2025.
Absolutely. And our mission for you, the listener, is to go beyond just the headlines on this one. We're going to really try and uncover the why behind this pretty significant strategic move from Meta. We'll trace their history of innovation a bit, look into the whole phenomenon of short-form video itself, and really understand the practical side, the implications of what might be one of their biggest updates yet.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're talking Facebook here, a platform that, wow, in the last quarter of 2024, had 3.068 billion monthly active users.
Billion. With a B.
Just think about that. That's like, what, 1 in every 3 people on the planet, roughly?
Pretty much.
Imagine the sheer challenge, logistically, creatively, of keeping that many different people engaged. It's just astronomical, isn't it?
It really is.
Especially when user habits are always shifting. And here's the core challenge, right? We've got data from Social Shepherd indicating adults aged 18 to 24. They're spending only about 22 minutes a day on Facebook.
Just 22 minutes.
Which strongly suggests, that younger users are heading elsewhere more and more. So how on earth do you even start to innovate for an audience that massive and diverse?
It's an existential question for them, isn't it? And it's not exactly new for Meta. Their CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, he's been pretty consistent about his guiding philosophy on this. He's basically said the only way to fight the competition is to constantly innovate and create new applications, working toward a family of apps.
Ah, okay. So it's like a constant mandate.
Yeah.
Evolve or else.
Pretty much. A relentless push to keep changing, keep building.
And they have evolved. Think back to 2009, right? When they first rolled out the like button.
Yeah.
That felt revolutionary then, didn't it?
Yeah.
The Associated Press, I remember this, called it a creative catalyst, a dopamine delivery system, and an emotional battering ram.
Huh. That's quite a description, but accurate.
It really changed how we interacted online. Then later we saw Facebook Live, another key video move, letting people stream live right there. Does this new Reels shift feel that level of fundamental change for Facebook? Similar to the like button, maybe?
That's a really interesting comparison of the like button analogy. Because, yeah, this isn't just a random update. It feels like part of a very clear strategic line. It confirms that video is still absolutely king when it comes to engagement on all platforms, really. And it just underscores why Facebook has kept upgrading its video stuff over the years.
But is there a risk here? By pushing everything towards Reels, do they maybe alienate users who actually prefer, like static photos or longer videos?
That's the gamble, isn't it? It's definitely a calculated risk. The engagement data, it overwhelmingly points to video, especially short form, as the dominant format going forward. But yeah, there's always a group of users who like variety, who maybe don't want everything to be a short video. Meta's bet, though, seems to be that making video easier to create and watch, simplifying things, will outweigh any potential downside, make it more accessible, more discoverable.
Okay, accessibility, that makes sense. And this ties into Instagram, because here's where it gets really interesting. Back in 2012, Facebook made that huge move, buying Instagram for a cool $1 billion.
$1 billion, yeah.
I remember so much skepticism then, people thinking, $1 billion for a photo app. But looking back now,
clearly a brilliant investment.
Absolutely brilliant, and a massive part of that success. Reels have they've taken social media by storm.
They certainly have. The numbers are pretty wild. Data from Cropink shows Reels made up, get this, 35% of total Instagram usage in 2024.
35%, wow.
Yeah. And Instagram Reels reached something like 726.8 million users. That covers over half, 55.1% of the platform's entire ad audience. It's huge.
That 35% figure, that's just massive. But is that kind of dominance really replicable on Facebook itself? Facebook's user base is broader,
Yeah.
maybe older in parts.
Yeah.
Are they going to embrace this shift quite as readily as Instagram users did?
That's the billion-dollar question, right? Or maybe the multi-billion-dollar question now. Instagram's success gives them a strong blueprint, definitely. But yeah, Facebook is different. Different demographics, different history, different user habits. It won't be a simple copy-paste job. But the underlying trend, short-form video's appeal, seems to cut across age groups. even if the type of content people watch varies.
And it's easy to see why they caught on. Sprout Social talks about how they evolved. They started small,
Yeah.
just 15-second clips, but now they can be up to 90 seconds. And they give you pretty good editing tools in the app. You don't need fancy software or an expensive computer to make something decent and share it.
Exactly. Makes it democratic.
And for brands, obviously, Reels are a great tool, reaching fans, customers. People seem to genuinely like watching entertaining little videos from brands they follow.
Gets the message across quick.
In seconds, yeah.
And what's really fascinating here is that the success of Reels isn't just about clever app design or features. It actually connects to something broader, more fundamental about, well, us, human behavior.
How?
Our attention spans, they've actually dropped significantly. There was a study, University of California, Irvine, I think. It showed the average attention span online went from like 150 seconds back in 2004 down to just 47 seconds in recent years.
Wow, 150 down to 47. That's a huge drop.
It is. So what we're seeing is platforms like Facebook and Instagram directly responding to this. The design, the content format, it's adapting to how our brains are working now, our sort of fragmented focus.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Which brings us right up to Facebook's big, bold new move. So keeping up with this trend, Meta announced just the other day, June 17th, that basically all videos on Facebook will now be shared as Reels.
All of them.
No more choosing, should I upload this as a video or make it a Reel? It's all streamlined into one thing. And get this, Reels on Facebook will now have no length or format restrictions.
Interesting. So longer videos become Reels too.
Seems like it. And they're even renaming the video tab on Facebook to the Reels tab. Though they do say your personalized video recommendations, that algorithm feed, will stay the same, which is probably good.
Yeah, people like their feeds.
So for the average person scrolling Facebook, what does this actually feel like day to day? Is my feed suddenly just going to be all short, flashy videos? Or is it more subtle?
They're aiming for seamless, I think. It's less about forcing a jarring new format on you and more about simplifying things behind the scenes. So if you uploaded, say, a 5-minute vacation video before, it was treated one way. A 30-second funny clip, another way. Now, it's all streamlined under the Reels umbrella.
Okay.
For creators, this makes their life way easier. One workflow. Which ideally means more content, maybe better tailored content for you, the viewer, because it's all feeding into that Reels discovery engine. Meta's own reasoning was pretty clear. They said something like, previously, you'd upload a video to feed or post a Reel using different creative flows and tools. Now we're bringing these experiences together, gives you access to even more creative tools.
Right. Simplification. And for users, privacy-wise, it's good to know you still control who sees your stuff. You can still choose friends or a specific group or make it public. That control isn't going away.
Crucially, yeah. And stepping back, the big picture here. This isn't happening overnight for everyone. Meta's rolling it out gradually, globally, to profiles and pages over the coming months. So you might not see it change instantly.
Okay, gradual rollout.
But the wider implication is clear. They want to streamline the experience, double down on a format Reels that they know works really well on Instagram, and just further cement video as the main way people engage across all their apps. It's a huge bet, really, but it's based on pretty solid data about how we're all consuming media these days.
So when you put it all together, what does this deep dive really show us? It shows Meta being incredibly deliberate, doesn't it? And trying to hold on to its massive user base. They're not just adapting reactively.
No, it feels proactive.
Yeah, it feels like a calculated gamble on what the future of just like digital interaction is. By pushing everything towards Reels, unifying it, it feels like they're not just simplifying things, but also subtly reshaping what people even expect from social media now.
Reshaping expectations.
Less static stuff, more dynamic, short burst video, really pushing those engagement models. It seems like a smart play to stay competitive, definitely. And it really highlights how willing they are to fundamentally change their core product, even Facebook itself.
Absolutely. And this move, it definitely aims to simplify how video is made and watched on Facebook, blurring those lines we talked about. The thought to leave you with is, what does this actually mean for how you engage with content online? Especially as these platforms keep prioritizing short-form video, potentially changing your feed, blurring the lines between different types of content. How might this big shift by Facebook influence maybe your own content creation if you made stuff, or even just the way you discover and watch things going forward? Something to think about.